Hey there, brothers and sisters. Time to cook up dinner. This is what I've been eating almost every day now for quite a while. Really simple. Pound of ground chicken, 99.1. Bag of rice cauliflower. 2 servings of a stir fry vegetable. 30 calories per serving, 2 grams of fiber, just eating that for the fiber. And then I have a seasoned mixed vegetable as well. I think this is flipped on the camera, but it is Primavera Mistra. It's tossed in olive oil and a little bit of salt, pepper, spices. So it's got a little bit of sodium in it, but it's only 40 calories per serving. I'll do 2 servings of that, and we'll show you exactly how we cook it. I just throw it in a pan, basically heat it up, but I'll show you. Get your non-stick skillet, a couple squirts of olive oil. That's just so the cauliflower doesn't stick. Whole bag in. Just gonna sweat that down. The key is to not cook it for too long or it will turn into just a dried up crumble. Whoa. Yeah, break that up a little bit. And we'll sweat that down for a little bit. All right, this is cooking down. You can season it however you like. I like to keep my sodium relatively low. So I'll use some Danos. It's low sodium, only 45 milligrams per serving. So I'll hit it with a dose of that, and we'll keep cooking that down. It's almost done. I like mine a little bit, I wouldn't say crispy, but firm. So this is almost done. We'll just hit this with a little more. That's probably enough seasoning. I'll season the meat as well. I'll show you the seasonings I use for that too. All right, cauliflower rice is done. Now I weighed out my vegetables. I did 2 servings of the 2 I mentioned earlier, the Primavera Mistra and the Kirkland's Stir Fry Veggie Blend, just a generic veggie blend. You can get something similar anywhere. I do 180 grams of each, or 170 grams, which is 2 servings each. Comes out to this little bowl here. We're gonna throw that in the skillet. And for these veggies, you don't gotta add nothing to the pan. The steam will cook them down good enough. The pre-mistra veggies are already seasoned, so they do have a little bit of salt, pepper, and some other seasonings on there. But I don't always use those. I'll just use that Kirkland's blend and throw it in there and steam it down and just eat it as it is. I won't season it. But yeah, we'll let that steam for a minute. That'll be done shortly. Veggies done. Let's add to the bowl. All right, that's layer 2. Now we add the chicken. You actually do not need any oil or anything like that. If you have a decent non-stick pan, you'll be fine. Just throw it in there. So I use a variety of seasonings for my meat. A little bit of garlic salt. This stuff is very high in sodium, so I just hit it with a little bit. Just a touch. And then I like to use various Kinder seasonings. I really like Kinder. This wood fire garlic's pretty good. I'll hit a little bit of this on here. It gives it almost like a smoky chipotle taste, kind of. So we'll hit that with a little bit of that. And then I use this hot Dirty Bird rub. They both have about fairly the same amount of sodium. Not a ton, but not none either. This gives it a little bit of spice. It's just basically chili powder and salt. Hit this with this. And to give it the same flavor as the cauliflower rice, to kind of bring it all together, hit it with a little Danos, which is also a chipotle, smoky chipotle. All these are like smoky, spicy chipotle flavor palette, so they do go together. Seems kind of random, but we're eating for fuel here. This ain't for flavor. This isn't going to be the best tasting meal you've ever eaten, not by far, not even close. But we're just eating for functionality. This is high protein. This is 99.1 ground chicken, a pound of it. That comes out to 440 calories and 100 grams of protein. I mean, most people don't even eat 100 grams of protein a day. If you're watching me, if you're watching fitness content and stuff like that, you probably are, and you're way more health conscious than your average person. But your average person doesn't eat 100 grams of protein a day. Most people don't. Most people are way under on their protein. They're way under on their fiber, and they're way under on their water. Those three things right there will transform your life if you just dial those in. Dialing those three things in, and your calories, of course. That's a given. We're assuming you know how many calories you should eat. But on top of that, some people, they'll crash diet. They're eating the right calories, but they're eating Pop-Tarts and fast food and this, that, and the other. So they're eating the right calories, but they're not getting nearly enough fiber, water, nutrients. So it's not sustainable. You can do that. Losing weight is all thermodynamics. So it doesn't technically, quote unquote, it doesn't matter what you eat technically to lose the weight. You can lose the weight on Snickers and donuts if you eat the right amount of calories, but it's going to be very hard to sustain and you're going to feel terrible. Why not do it with whole foods that give you the right micronutrients, the right macronutrients, fiber? Drink your water, you'll feel a lot better. All right, this is almost done. I'm going to put this in the bowl. Here's the finished product. Add the chicken on top, layer 3. I'll put the macros on the screen when I'm done. And there's your finished product. I'm going to put the macros on the screen and in the description if you're curious.